All right, and here we are with question number 6. Question number 6 of your SAT, they gave you 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equal to 0. Now, they're tripping you up here a couple of ways. So first thing they want you to use is the AC method for factoring. And so that's what they mean by if R and S are solutions. So basically factor this. So if R and S are solutions, of the equation above, and R is greater than S. That means that when you solve for this, one of the values is going to be bigger than the other. So you're going to label the larger of the two R and the smaller of the two S, basically. Then they want you to take it further, and they say, which of the following is the value of R minus S? So they're testing you on a couple of levels here. So let me recap that real quick. They give you a quadratic. They're basically asking you to factor. In this case, you use any method you choose. You could use the quadratic formula, which if you remember is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You could use that method. You could also use the AC method, which is probably the easier of the methods. Or you can use guess and check. You know, guess and check is a possible way you could do this. Guess and check. Okay, so let's go with the AC method. That's the method I would prefer you to use. If you prefer to use the negative b plus or minus the b squared minus 4ac over 2a, hence the quadratic formula, and you remember it, do it. All right, 2 times 15, basically you get 30. And so I'm looking at the factors of 30. I know that 1 times 30, 2 times 15 is a possibility. There is the possibility of 3 times 10, which immediately draws my attention, and obviously 5 times 6 or 6 times 5. The reason why I say it drew my attention is because that's 7, and I know that 10 minus 3 will give me 7. That is important because now when I stretch this piece using those two factors, it will actually work. So I'm going to stretch where I have 2x squared. I have plus the 10x minus the 3x. This is where I'm getting those values, right? Minus 15 is equal to 0. And now I'm going to use factor by grouping. Factor by grouping, I'm splitting the equation in half, and I'm going to extract here what's common to both. So I'm going to take out a 2 and an x. This leaves me with an x plus 5 here. On this side of the equation, I'm going to take out a negative 3, and this leaves me with an x plus 5 here. Now, the key is, you notice these are both x plus 5. They have to both match for you to use factor by grouping. Since they do, I now have a factor where I have 2x minus 3 as one factor, and the other factor is x plus 5. So this tells me I have two values for x. I have x is equal to positive 3 over 2, and I have x is equal to negative 5. Go back to your definition where r is greater than s. That means that r is going to be my 3 over 2, and my s is going to be the negative 5. Okay. That means that now I apply this part of the question, which is what is the difference between the two? So I'm going to take the 3 over 2, and I'm going to subtract negative 5 over 1. Remember, to add or subtract any fractions, you have to have a common denominator. So in that case, I'm going to multiply the second equation by 2 top and bottom. So times 2 times 2. And this equation is now really negative 10 over 2. So what I have here is 3 over 2. And now let's kill the next step, which is negative negative becomes a positive, and this is 10 over 2. Final answer, I have a common denominator. I don't know where I got the extra one from. I have a common denominator, so if I add these together, I get 13 over 2, and I believe that is my answer. Should be answer choice B. That one is a loaded question, so that's what they're testing you on. So if you're weak on that, it's time to tap your teacher for help. Okay, so immediately know that that is what you need help in. Is basically factoring, using the AC method, and then obviously the other parts are just logic. So you should be good there.